Alright, so today I'm super excited because of these. Ta-da! Okay, so I do sim racing, as some of you might know, and I've been rolling with a Pimax 5K proper VR for sim racing, and I've been doing that for several months now, and it's all wonderful, it's all okay, it's good, but I've always been fascinated by the triple screen setup. So yeah, I decided to get these bad boys over here. I said I'm gonna do it properly. Now, I've not seen one single review or setup guide or anything like that on YouTube or anywhere else uh, of using these Odyssey G7, Samsung Odyssey G7 32-inch as a triple monitor setup. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to unbox these and I'm going to set them up and take them for a tiny bit of a spin, and then I'll do a follow-up video with first impressions, performance, and all of that stuff. I do have a 3090 RTX 3090 graphics card from GeForce, so hopefully they will sustain these. Specs of the monitors will be in the description below, but yeah, let's get started. I'll unbox them. I'm so excited. I'll unbox them and then I'll set them up upstairs. This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting because apparently these have 1000R curvature, so they're a lot more curved than the BenQs, the AOCs, the general preferred triple monitor screens, curved screens by sim racers. So it's going to be an interesting experience to set them up, given that they have a different type of curvature than the others. All right, the moment of truth. Okay, so that's the box. Inside, I don't know if I might have, no, I think it's the right way up. Okay, so we have some instructions here and all of the cables and stuff. Has a massive brick of a charger. Let's put that aside. And then I guess, yeah, this should be the back cover after you put in the cabling and stuff. Yeah, a UK plug. This is the fancy RGB thing. The plasticky back cover, whatever it's called, which we probably not gonna use because we're gonna mount this with VESA mount, and this right here, it should be the VESA mount setup. Yeah, there you go. We're gonna have to attach this to the screen, and then in here we're gonna have the VESA mount, basically this one, and the screen will go, I don't know, somewhere there, I guess. Yeah, something like that. Cool. I have the monitor stand that I have is a triple monitor stand, a 8020 profile monitor stand that I got from Track Racer. I'll show that as well, but I've mounted that yesterday. I set it up yesterday, so it should be fine. Okay, let's go back to the unboxing. All right, that's the tripod. The leg. I'm not even gonna unbox that because we don't need it for sim racing. We just need to mount it on a VESA mount, and I guess that's the the leg of the stand. Yeah, I'm probably gonna just keep them packed like that. All right, now for the big reveal. This is the screen. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. Ta-da! There's your screen. Man, that's luxury right there. Pretty nice material. It is plastic, but it's a nice type of plastic with the texture and all. And this is the RGB. That's the light thingy. Anyways, let me take it out real quick and let's see how it looks. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take this out and let's see how curved this thing is. If I can somehow grab it. Okay. Ooh, that is pretty curved. That is pretty curved. Though there's a line on it. What? It's broken. Oh my goodness, this screen is broken. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. They sent me a broken screen. Wow. This is unreal. That is broken. That is just broken there. That screen is broken. Unbelievable.
A few moments later.
Alright, so take two. Yeah, so I have one of the monitors that was cracked. It's given curries in UK. What can you expect from them? Yeah, so I have two working monitors and I have one that's coming tomorrow, and we're gonna mount the monitors just to give you an idea of how curved this is. That's the curvature, and it's basically extremely curved. Yeah, it might be, I love this curve, but it might be a bit of an issue with positioning them, because when it's here, it's very curved. So those two arms will need to come closer together. So we'll see. All right. Okay, so hold this for a minute. Let me just measure the distance here. Peanut, don't come in my way over here. So we're operating heavy duty machinery. Okay, so this is, okay, let me just put it super straight. Okay, so now tell me, does this look centered to you? Where that is? Hmm? Okay. Peanut, don't steal anything from here. Alright, so now I'm gonna jam it in there, yeah, and I'm gonna hold it, and let's open the arms, and you're gonna screw it, yeah? Yeah, one of them, we only need the top one first, and the bottom one we can do afterwards. It's not, it's the important one is the top one. All right. Okay, so day 43 of the screen constructions. I mean, not really, but still, I was missing one screen. I've installed the other two screens. I was missing that screen that was broken from goddamn curries. So, yeah, so I now have the third screen. I ordered from a different provider. The screen seems okay. It's all intact. So I've arranged these a bit in the right angle, what I think is the right angle. and the curvature and all of that stuff. And there's a bit of a misalignment there, but hopefully I can tweak things once I mount the third monitor as well. So I'll mount the third monitor now, and then I'll show you the whole setup, how it looks, and then I'll start playing around and installing everything. All right, let's see. Okay. Alright, so this is how it looks all set up. Pretty immersive. Goes all the way down here. So hopefully you'll cover for like 180 degree of your view. I did struggle a bit with mounting them. They're still not 100% aligned, so there's still some angles where I need to play with, for example there, but hopefully things will come into place eventually. I do have to get the bezel free kit. I'm receiving the bezel free kit, and that should hopefully make those bezels completely disappear and the irregularities not show so much. And this is how it looks from the back. Let me just get in. Yeah, so that's how it looks from the back. On the kind of like a semicircle here. I like the crazy curve approach. Should be good. Okay, so they're all set up now. I will need to stabilize this a tiny bit. There are a few things that I probably can make to stabilize this and make it a bit better, but we'll see. We'll see afterwards. For now, I'll just mount the whole thing, start my PC, and set up the screens. So I'll be back after I do that. Alright, so this is where we currently are. I still need to move the screens a tiny bit closer probably. Well, I just wanted to show this in the back here. So I tied the cables, I don't know if it's visible. So I put the power cable from this left one, which is the farthest away from the computer. So I put the computer and basically the power outlets. I put it over here on top of it. I might need to secure it with something better. I did secure it with these straps over here, but I think it needs a bit more. And then the only challenge that I had, and I had to move the rig very, very, very slightly towards the computer, was this display cable. It's not long enough. This display cables that come with these G7s are quite short. So if you have your PC a bit further than this of your rig, you're gonna have issues with the display port. You might need to get an adapter or something like that. So yeah, so put it all together. Cable is a complete mess, but to be honest, I've plugged everything in now. I just want to turn it on and see how it looks and set it up, and then I will deal with the cable management after this. So yeah, time to get these bad boys started, and hopefully the setup will be more straightforward than the whole installation was. Alright, so we're all set up. It looks pretty cool. It feels nice. I think the one thing that I like is how good the contrast is on these screens. It feels so much better than my previous IPS screen panel. The contrasts are a lot better. I still need to tweak here and there, but man, this is pretty good. I think this is the best you can get with triple screens. The G7s with the curvature and all of the stuff is definitely the way to go. So yeah, and it is immersive. Like the screen wraps around 180. You can see on the sides, and you just feel that you're in the cockpit of a car with these kind of curved, high contrast screens. And I am getting right now about 120, 110 FPS. I don't know if you can make that up. So yeah, it is pretty sweet. I like them. I do still need to tweak the some of the HDR contrast, the positioning, because I just moved the screen a bit closer. So yeah, I'm really impressed with the screen so far, and I can't wait to properly sit down and play with them. It's pretty cool. I am having some bezel-free kit coming in a week, so I'll cover the bezels. But honestly, I feel that just by doing half a lap, it doesn't bother me that much, the bezels. And I've set up in Windows in a NVIDIA control panel to basically remove the bezels and everything, have everything fluid from one side to the other. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I will attach a link to Race Beyond Matter, where he actually talks about how to set up the triple screens with NVIDIA control panel, and also in the actual ACC game. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Been in pain and suffering for a while, but I think it turned out really nice. Alright, so this is the next day with the setup with the triple G7s. I had some time to go a few laps, a few cars, a few tracks and such, and see how it feels. I think I'm super happy with the setup. I like the angle, the curves, and I managed to set up everything else. So I had, hold on, I'll change the camera. So I had these wind blowers installed underneath, and they feel quite nice. Previously, before monitor, I had them here on top. So yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. I like the HDR. I tried HDR on and HDR off, and yeah, you can definitely see a difference, major difference in the blacks, and it feels more like a game when you don't have HDR on in ACC and you're running with the monitors without the HDR. With this, the blacks are way darker, as well as the light, so it just feels more like you're in a car rather than washed colors and such. The one thing that I would say is every single time you enter the game, the screens need to enter HDR mode. So they shut down and restart in HDR mode, which is a bit bizarre. I've not seen that before, but I guess that's the technology. The one initial, I would say feedback that I have, not feedback, but an issue with them is sometimes the monitors fail. One of the monitor fails to enter HDR mode. So let me quickly show you. I'll just do Alt Tab, because that should go into regular screen mode on default. So you see HDR, It says HDR, so it says that it's in HDR mode, and it doesn't happen every single time. But if I go back, yeah, they're now all HDR. But sometimes it happens that one of the panels, especially most often it happens when you enter a new game, one of the panels does not enter HDR mode, so the colors are super washed, like for example the left one. But if you alt tab in and out of the game, it will correct itself, so then all of them will be HDR. So it's just a bit of an annoyance, really not a big issue. It's not like they're broken or anything like that, but it is a bit of an annoyance. So yeah, the whole setup feels really good. The fact that my wind sim is all the way down here, facing up, is also pretty neat, because it feels nice, the wind and all of that stuff. And yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. Yes, of course, it doesn't give you the depth that you get with VR, but man, it comes close. I don't know, you don't get that depth, but the fact that you have the surround, you see left, right, you can turn your head, see your apex properly on the other screen, and all of that stuff is pretty nice. And if you calculate your FOV distance from the screen and all of that stuff, then you know you're all set. Look, it looks pretty neat. It does look. You see my wheel there, and I have the basically the dashboard in there. It's the right ratio. It's just on point. And yeah, I'm probably gonna wind up blacking out the bottom so that you can't see light and such, so that it feels more like in a car. But man, seriously, like with the seat mover that I have from Next Level Racing, it just feels so natural, especially that the seat moves and then you see these safety nets move as well. It just feels like you're in the car. So that is pretty cool. What else? I do have, just to mention, I do have the distance from my chair to the screen is right now 570 millimeters. I was actually at 530 millimeters distance from the screen. I'm talking in millimeters because in Assetto Corsa Competizione, when you set up your configuration for triples, it will ask you the distance from the screen in millimeters. Now, I had it all the way up here. I don't know if you see it, all the way up here. So you could only see the Fanatec screen. But what happened was, because the screen is quite low, it was rubbing against the metal on the Fanatec. And actually, this morning, after an evening of racing and such, I found dust, plastic dust here. And what happened was the screen has rubbed on this metal and started eroding because the screen kind of moves and such. So yeah, I had to move it back. But to be honest, it's still a pretty sweet distance. I don't think there's any issue with the distance or anything like that. So yeah, I'm loving it. It is worth it. I think it's worth it. I'm not achieving the 240 hertz that the screens are maximum. I'm running right now with a very high resolution, as you can see, mirrors and all of that stuff, in 100 hertz, 110. It really depends. But the true HDR, the DisplayHDR 600, makes a world of a difference. So I don't think I would go to regular non-HDR screens when this feels so good. Yeah, you can probably see it feels natural. Like even in the video, the colors are not blown up at all. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'll probably do a bit more of an in-depth review at one point. But for now, I guess that's kind of it. Yeah, if you have the budget for it, They're quite expensive, but if you have the budget for it, I truly recommend it. There are other options out there, like getting the 32-inch curved AOCs or BenQs. A lot of sim racers use the BenQs, but I think this is the top of the range. So if you want to go top of the range, get Odyssey Q7s.